Hey, what's up? So I'm Ency. I was just watching this video on YouTube, and I'm sorry, I just already watched most of it. It's a video by FL Studio Tips, and my God, the tips on this video actually really useful. So I just honestly wanted to react to the video because this shit's dope. So I already watched most of it, but I just got it, and this is good.
Hey guys, this is Max from FL Studio Tips, and here's a second volume
link
of
the
10
video.
mind-blowing FL Studio tricks that I can't live without. You watched the last video over 200,000 times, and I'm sure that this one you will like as much. If you use your typing keyboard to play inside of FL Studio,
Yeah, I don't use my keyboard though, so I won't use
if
this
you
one.
right-click the I personally hate looking for plugins in this mess.
I feel you.
You can, for example, click H and it
I organized all my plugins in here, and I still get lost.
will show you all plugins that start with H, but if you want fruity reverb, it will show you every fruity VST. But the solution is as simple as instead of left-clicking, right-clicking, and say I want Maximus, I write Max, and
I didn't know you could literally just do an automatic search in this, and then you can just press enter and it puts the plugin in. It's honestly so useful.
have it. In the next 1 year of making music, you will save a lot of hours searching for the plugins.
A lot
you
of time.
You have your 808, which is very
I know that adds up. Okay, so this is for 808s. Honestly, like this is like if your 808's short, then you can loop a waveform of it, and then it'll just go on for forever. I'm gonna skip this one as well, but this is for 808s if you want to do a slide and it's not long enough.
With this trick, you'll be able to add human feeling to
These are cool. I knew you could do this, but I didn't know you could do this. You know what I mean?
any instrument, and that is quite important. So this guy, for example, is very, very robotic. First thing is that we humans would not be able to play all of those notes at the same time. So I'm not talking about strumming. You can of course hit Ctrl A and strum everything.
Strumming honestly sounds just as unnatural. If you just want to make it natural, like, you're not going to. Unless you're trying to mimic a guitar, it's not happening.
That somehow works, but what I like to do is what not many people are talking about, is hitting Shift and R a couple of times.
Honestly, so useful.
And now
Shift the position of the notes a little bit.
drag some of them to...
When you press Shift R, it'll select random notes, and then you can just move them wherever you want to move them. It's actually kind of incredible. I knew you could do that because I've accidentally hit Shift R before, and I was like, what is it doing? I never thought of actually using it.
To the left and change the velocity a little bit, still holding Alt and scrolling down, and now changing the length of the note. Now hit Shift and R a couple of times again, and now drag them, for example.
And you can just keep doing it with random ones, honestly. It doesn't really matter. And then you can end up something that sounds a lot
And now you can
more
simply
natural.
multiply the velocity as we had, and the difference will be a little bit more harsh.
Definitely more natural. I mean, I wouldn't say that's a natural sounding instrument, but way more natural than it was before.
Trust me, whenever you use this trick on any organic sounding instrument, it will breathe whole new life to your track. With this trick, you'll never ever again sidechain as you used to. So all of you know already that
This one actually blew me away. I didn't know you could do this whatsoever. Oh, you guys will see this. You guys will see this.
classic sidechain technique where you just sidechain the kick to your sidechain bus where all of your instruments are, apply limiter, and sidechain it with the fruity limiter. Thing is that you don't have the perfect control for how long your sidechain works.
Yeah,
For
you
example,
can't really
here our
choose.
kick,
By the way, banging beat. Banging.
we can't control it too much. But what if, look what I show you. Let's play fruity balance and make automation out of it. And now simply design.
Although he kind of didn't show that to the full example. Like, you can adjust the release and you're going to get a different... Did he try that? If you adjust the release, you can change a lot about it. But it gives you less fine-tuned control, and you don't really know how long it is in relation with the other beats. You want your sidechain to be in time, basically. It's hard to do that with just a compressor. So what he shows here is that you can make your automation, you can do your sidechaining in an automation clip using a fruity balance, which makes perfect sense to me. I've done that before. But what you're going to see is that there's a really cool trick to make it done easily. And I'm going to show you another alternative that I've done before, but it wasn't as fluid as I thought it was going to be.
We can't control it too much, but what if, look what I show you. Let's apply fruity balance and make automation out of it. And now simply design how you want your sidechain to look like. For example,
Make the perfect
like
sidechain.
Maybe something a little bit.
Something with this, I don't know if it's just me, but if it goes like a straight dip on an automation clip, I swear they always click. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but
Softer. That's quite perfect for my ear. And now you can delete this guy. And now simply go to your drum spotter.
You hear that little laugh? He's so excited when he did this.
Find the automation clip in the channel rack that you just made, copy and paste the MIDI from the kicks channel, and look what happens.
It literally triggers the whole automation clip whenever it hits a MIDI note. I didn't know that. I was always confused why automation clips are in the channel rack, but I never even tried it. I was like, why are they here? Okay, I guess I can just delete them from here. No, it's because you can literally trigger them with MIDI. I deadass never would have tried that whatsoever. I might have accidentally have figured it out like 10 years from now, but I would have never done that like instinctively. That's so useful. What this basically does is you can customize your sidechain to be exactly how you want it to. You can make it in time. You can make just the right curve so it's not cutting out too much or anything. Or if you can make it really extreme or anything you want, make that perfect curve, and then you can have it trigger whenever your MIDI triggers. And on top of that, with the sidechaining, you could also make it not trigger on certain MIDI notes. You don't have to copy every note over from the kick or whatever. If you're sidechaining your kick, you literally could exclude one of the notes and then boom, you don't have a sidechain right there. Like you don't want that. Let's say you don't want one kick to hit as hard. You're like, okay, so if you're using a normal compressor, you'd have to literally automate out the compressor and automate it back in, which is really annoying. So in this method, you could just like, oh, I'm gonna delete that MIDI note. It's gone. Literally gone.
With the MIDI now, we are triggering the automation clip, which was very short and just ducked down the volume for a couple of milliseconds. And that's how you basically can now sidechain. Basically, you can create a layer, mark those two guys, set children, and
also really cool. So you can have the layer trigger everything. So like this would work counterintuitive of what I just said. You wouldn't be able to customize what notes if you have a layer, but you know, if you have a layer, you could have it trigger both your sidechain and your kick, and then you only have to put many notes on your layer, and then you're gonna get the kick with the sidechain on every hit, which is really cool.
Now instead
save a lot of time, a lot of frustration, and it would turn out beautifully.
Of those guys, just trigger the layer, and you have.
Okay, so we've got a really simple beat going on here. So what I'm saying is how I would have done it before is taking an envelope controller. Okay, so that's actually kind of a useful tip. So if you guys use Fruity Send to do any type of automation and stuff like that, it can click. I don't know why, but it can click. Also, how do you fix this? No sidechain thing. So yeah, you can use either the automation clip or you can use different articulators. I guess the advantage to using automation clips would be, hey, you could actually do different sidechains for different parts of your songs. Like you could have a certain sidechain and then make another one, make it unique, and then have that automation clip with the MIDI come in at a different part in the song, but you're still using the same plugin, which is still controlled by the same automation clip thing. So it still controls the same thing, which is kind of cool. This way, I'd say it's a little bit more fluid and faster to change it on the fly. So if you want to only use one and you can change it faster, then I would say use envelope controller. But if you want to change your sidechain throughout the song, which I usually don't have to, then I'd use automation clips. Anyways, cool concept. Like for real, for real. Let's watch the rest.
Maybe something a little bit softer. That's quite nice. A Amatuer preset, which works like a tape vinyl effect.
I knew about this thing as well.
Like a random vinyl thing that makes everything more spooky and sounding more like a sample. There's a pretty nice alternative that I want to show you, and this one is using delay 3. We want to take feedback all the way down, take the dry all the way down, and modulation all the way down. Now, in the delay time, you unmark tempo
basically
sync,
make it a default, like super default preset.
and if you trigger the time while everything is playing,
Now, something that he didn't try in this is you can actually do something like this. So let's turn off all my side chaining and stuff, and let's just solid this guy. Is you can actually in delay 3 turn turn it wet all the way up, everything else down, and you can actually mess with the time modulation. I would do it like that. Personally, it's still a cool tip. And you can, what he's going to say is that you can automate this time modulation and basically make whatever pattern you want. You could also attach it to an LFO, which is cool. So he's going to show you this.
you can now create automation clip out of time and basically make a short random automation.
I honestly think this is kind of overcomplicated for what it is. And you can do this in gross beat as well. Like you can do some weird time stuff in gross beat. So I really wouldn't focus too much on this, but
It's a little bit too much, but you definitely get the point. Although, instead of using automation clip, if you apply Fruity Peak
in my opinion, that takes a little bit too long, especially for the flow.
controller and go to your delay, right click and link it to controller. In the internal controller, choose Peak Controller LFO, accept, and now simply change shape to random, and now decrease the speed and play with the volume. Now, if you move phase, you will get a jitter effect.
This is really cool. I really like this effect. That's really cool.
Believe me, you'll find it very, very useful.
I think that's the best way to use it is just use an LFO and use the randomizer, or you can just use a sine wave or a square wave or something if you want it to be consistent. Honestly, still pretty useful.
Very, very soon. I also prepared for you even more cool tricks using delay 3 that is going to be really.
Why he's talking here to move my face cam. Why he's talking here? Literally the knob down here is literally just like spinning around.
He's very, very soon on our YouTube channel, so make sure you hit a like and subscribe to not miss out when it comes out.
Okay, so shout out to FL Studio Tips. I mean, like, got pretty nice video, man. The side chaining, really fun with the automation clip. Although maybe I'll get you guys on using the envelope controller. It can be a little daunting at first. Once you figure out how that thing works, it is very powerful and it's faster to change quickly than the automation clip, like with dragging it in, editing it. And then the vinyl tape thing is pretty cool with the delay. I still have a cat in my lap. I had a different cat in my lap earlier, and now I have this one. Dude, they are just constant. They are constant. Get rid of them. Anyways, that's been it for me today. My name is Ency. Hope you enjoyed. And shout out to FL Studio Tips. I will hopefully link that video down below, but I kind of stole all of it, so yikers. Okay, bye. Did I just do that? I did that. Bye.